So really, all credit to Tom and the the study director, Dr. Ashley Baer, who truly is, either delivering a report or delivering a baby at this very moment. So really hats off to Tom and Ashley for spearheading this effort. As Tom mentioned, this committee is actually more than 20 members, so we couldn't fit them all on stage. So what we decided to do was to have a few committee members speak about their perspectives and their participation in this study committee. So first off, we have the executive director for the Alliance for Arts in Research Universities, Laurie Baefsky. Please welcome her.
So this Academy's Joint Consensus Report charge is really at the heart of the Alliance's work, and we call ourselves A2RU, and it is an intentional kind of cheesy pun, we sit at this intersection of arts and everything else, and it's really been a pleasure and an honor to both contribute and learn from the research and conversations of the past 2 years. And honestly, the ulterior motive of me being on the committee is just to ride the coattails of this committee, because we align so seriously with the charge that is being really put forward by the academies. And we've been looking at two really important themes, and one of the themes is, as Tom mentioned, workforce preparedness and workforce readiness, and who are these young minds that are going to take over for us and do a better job than us and fix all of our problems. And then the other side is the other strand. I forgot the other strand. Workforce preparedness, and also, I will get back to you on the other strand. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I'm nervous because you guys this is the kind of the sharpest, minds in both the academy, inside and out, working across all kinds of disciplines. And I will just say that our purpose at A2RU is to create a world-class environment for generating knowledge, for fostering creativity, for promoting innovation, and reciprocally building out research opportunities through which to pilot and prototype strategies, which potentially has broad applications to the creation of future knowledge precincts. And we know that our students are digital natives. We know that they're demanding a different kind of education. We know that we are now in historically challenging times, both globally and really micro-locally. And so that includes training, inspiring, and incubating really the students of our future. Just a little bit of background on A2RU. It started at the University of Michigan. And I also run a program called Arts Engine, which is a collab of all of our making units on our North Campus. And there's 5 academic units. There's the College of Engineering, the College of Architecture and Urban Planning, School of Music, Theater, and Dance, Art and Design, and the School of Information just recently joined Arts Engine. Our mission: to inspire, to foster, to strengthen intellectual collisions, and here's the big one, durable collaborations that drive the arts to fully maximize both faculty and student potential. So this is A2RU. We're now 5 years old. We partner with more than 40 research universities committed to connecting knowledge, empowering leadership, fostering interdisciplinary collaborations. We envision a work in which the students, the faculty, and the leaders acknowledge, embed, and integrate the arts in the pursuit of basic knowledge as well as in their everyday practice. So we really believe that 21st century problems require people who can confidently exercise the full range of their creative and cognitive capabilities. We know that the arts are vital to practices in high-level research collaborations to expand the range and perspectives and possibilities. We really believe that multiple perspectives lead to powerful outcomes, and we know that strategic collaborations hold the key to achieving the scale and the momentum required for significant impact to our future. So in other words, the arts and design and the humanities are really part of every answer as we look at these global challenges moving forward. So looking at Liz Lerman, who actually came and talked to our panel, she said, the problems are too big. I think we've reached the limit of what we can do in our silos. If you bring unlikely things together, you spark new ideas, and it broadens who you are. And I think that's kind of a seminal statement that describes this audience. It describes the work that we're doing with A2RU and, in a sense, the charge of this committee. So, A2RU, what is our role in this reimagined education landscape that we've been talking about over the past day or so? So our A2RU campuses, we're committed to arts research and creative practice. We seek to better align incentive programs around tenure and promotion, which is just a huge, huge issue on all of our campuses. We're trying to meaningfully connect centers and institutes to colleges and schools so that the centers and institutes aren't just kind of floating around out there, that aren't really impacting that curricular piece of the academy. We have a desire to improve and increase arts integration, as I've already spoken about. And we want resources to really organize these cross-campus initiatives. So, some of the questions we're asking. What kinds of environments do we need to do this research, both physical, virtual, and translational? How do informatics transform our use of design on physical spaces? And what should this next-gen tech hub really look like? How does this AR, VR, XR, MR kind of new technology change the potential for research, for teaching, for living, for learning? And what are its potential impacts across the board? And how can we fulfill the promise of the 21st century living learning environment to be the test bed for our next living, learning, working, playing research environment? So, some of the identified needs: better connectivity, communication, high-level collaborations between everyone. Pathways. What are the pathways for doing this work? What are the pathways for collaborative sponsored research? And how do we merge virtual and physical spaces, connecting all of these resources to shared opportunities to increase innovation? So some of the portfolios of interest that we've tackled. So again, our organization's 5 years old. In the last 5 years, we've tackled placemaking, creative placemaking. How do the arts transform campuses and communities? Arts and design in health and well-being. We're working currently on a 2-year initiative with public health and wellness. SEED, or that STEAMY space that we've been discussing all right along. The digital humanities and peer-reviewed digital scholarship. Ecology, sustainability, and the planet. That's the theme of our next conference. And those edges of expanding technologies. So, as I said, our next conference is on the University of Georgia campus on arts environments, and our next student summit will be on food scarcity, access to food deserts, desertification. And this is from our very first Emerging Creatives Student Summit at Stanford, where we took over the D School for a couple days. So just a few things that we've done in the last year. We created a placemaking hub for higher education. There's tons of creative placemaking going on, but in higher education, we're really not getting funded at the level that we should be, and nobody's talking to each other, and it's all, so, we're really trying to connect the dots on what's going on and creating a central point and a nexus point, or we can all tap in. Another area that we've been working on is a peer-reviewed platform for integrative and transdisciplinary research, and really the core of this platform is really around peer review and learning from that open peer review process. And this has been a kind of a 3-year initiative, and we're kind of chipping away at it, kind of inch by inch on the backs of some really great volunteers. Let me go back to this slide. One of the things we do at A2RU, we're kind of trend watchers. And in the last 2 years, since I've joined this study, one of the things I've done is really look at where are the places where this work is happening. And I came up with kind of a baker's dozen of institutes and spaces and centers. University of Illinois, brand new integrative design center. Okay, great, thanks. And not even built yet. VCU, brand new Arts Research Institute. I think it launched about a year ago. Brown, brand new arts initiative launched in 2017. Duke University's Rubenstein Center just opened 2 weeks ago. Penn State's brand new Arts and Design Research Incubator, I think it's in its third year. University of Michigan's new Center for Socially Engaged Design, brand new, run through the engineering program, open to all students, opened this year. University of Nebraska, brand new Carson Center for New Media, I think it's in its second year, and that would be Johnny Carson. ASU's multiple institutes and centers that keep cropping up and multiplying. You rub one together and another kind of breaks off. UT Dallas's brand new ATAC Center, which you've heard about. Michigan State Center for Interdisciplinarity. Johns Hopkins' new International Arts and Brain Lab run by an artist. It's on neuroaesthetics. Rice University's brand new Moody Institute that opened in this past year. And I just found out RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology, was just funded at $50 million, partially going to a maker library and innovative learning complex of the future. So this is really where a lot of this work is going. And this is maybe my favorite new collab. This is out of University of Kansas. It's a MoCo lab. It's a repurposed 1972 31-foot Airstream trailer, and it's a science lab, a dining room, an elementary school classroom, a conference space, an art gallery. It's designed to be flexible with movable carts and spaces. So I want to just show you another set of 10. Living learning communities. These also have been cropping up. The Munger Graduate Residency at the University of Michigan, transdisciplinary, across all 19 units. Michigan has a living learning community also themed on creative process. Florida, Infinity Hall Innovation Academy. Dayton has their Applied Creativity and Technology Institute. Carnegie Mellon retrofitted their Rosewood Makerspace. Stanford, Kimball's Hall. Risley Residential College at Cornell. And then these last four are all community colleges, because the LLCs are considered really, really high impact. So in closing, I'm just going to end with just a few thoughts. Why integrate? Astro Teller, if you want to explore things you haven't explored, having people who think just like you and look just like you is not the best way. Why integrate? There's a difference between creation and transmission of knowledge and the deepening of understanding. And that latter, so that deepening of understanding, is uniquely served by interdisciplinary studies from the wonderful sociologist Martin Troe out of Berkeley. And why integrate? The danger of a single story is not that it is untrue, but that it is incomplete. Chimamanda Adichie, Nigerian writer. Thank you.